Hola, I'm Pedro Martin. I'm the author illustrator of MEXIKID, a graphic memoir. Um, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I did this and how you could do something very similar in like 3 steps. There's 3 long steps, just to be safe, just so you know. This is not going to be super easy. But if you can condense the ideas you get here in this little tutorial, I think you might be able to do your own graphic novel, graphic memoir, cartoon, or whatever you want to do with your story using those steps. Okay, so let's get started. Part one, the outline. So the first thing you need to do is to outline your story. And the easiest way to start that process is by writing a log line. So what a log line is a brief statement, a sentence or two that explains what your story is. And the reason you do that is to kind of keep you honest to your story. So when you start getting into the process of writing your story, you can go back to that log line, that first sentence, that simple introduction to your story, and make sure that you are staying true to that idea. So, like for example, in Spider-Man Homecoming. So the log line for Spider-Man Homecoming is Peter Parker balances his life as an ordinary high school student in Queens with his superhero alter ego Spider-Man and finds himself on the trail of a new menace prowling the skies of New York City. So super simple, right? And you know, you've seen the movie, so you know how it all works out. But having that as your kind of core idea to work from is always a great start. So the next part you want to do is you want to outline your story. So an outline is kind of a roadmap of your whole entire story. I usually like to break it up into chapters. So as I am writing a story, I'll actually like kind of put boxes on a page and say, and actually, if you look behind me, you see those little sticky notes on the wall over there. Those are kind of like how I work. I put little chapter boxes on the page on the wall, and I figure out what's going to happen throughout the whole story. So, chapter one, here's a box. Chapter two, chapter three, chapter four, chapter five, and so you go through and you just kind of mark out, write out however you want it. You can type it out, you can scribble it on the note, and say like here in this chapter this happens, and then in this chapter this thing happens, and then this chapter this thing happens, and so on and so forth until you get to the end and you get to the end part of the story. So here's an example of my outline for the book MEXIKID, and you can see it's just broken up into chapters, and there's not a whole lot of information there. It's just like the basic things that happen in every chapter, and this is really helpful for me trying to figure out what the story is, and it's really helpful for the editor who I'm pitching this to understand what I'm thinking chapter by chapter.